Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at NECA's Alien vs. Predator Warrior Predator in this stylized kind of arcade-looking style, and this is my personal favorite of the bunch. You're probably thinking, what the heck? I thought he liked the blue one a whole lot. I do. I like blue a whole bunch, and it looks really cool, but this one has my favorite face mask out of all the Predators, and the color scheme on it is just fantabulous. So I really like the look of this personally. There's definitely a lot to talk about. You might have noticed a little issue already, but there's definitely some things to talk about. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 8 1/4 inches, which makes him just about 21 centimeters. Why is he shorter than the others? He shouldn't be shorter than the other ones. Is he shorter than the other ones? We'll look at a photo at the end. I don't remember that being the height for the other ones, but I don't know what I'm doing around here. Anyway, this guy is just beautiful. I don't have a particular fondness for the biscuity color of his skin. I mean, it's fine. I don't have anything against it, but it doesn't do anything for me. But I'll tell you what does. This armor paint job, in particular right there on the top of his noodle. I love it. I love it. It has such a cool look. I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of grayscale with a slight hint of blue or yellow toned into it, but it still looks so freaking cool. Maybe it's just me. I don't know why, but I really, really like the contrast and the stylized look of the armor. It's so nice. And you get on the faceplate, the arm, the chest, the cod piece a little bit, the thigh pieces, the legs, the other arm, everywhere. It's all over the place, and it looks bootyful. I love it. It's in the dreads. It is gorgeous. The white thing on here doesn't stand out as much because the skin's such a light color, but it still looks nice. It's good. I like it. Aesthetically speaking, this guy gets a 9 out of 10. The only thing keeping it from being perfectly rated at a 10, aesthetically speaking, is they could have lined up the ab work a little bit better. The shading on the abs is not great. I don't mind that it's hyper heavy, like it's supposed to be that way. The contrast is what they're going for, but it could be lined up just a little bit better. Okay. Now, on to the accessories. The first accessory we're going to talk about is not really one. It's the backpack. You could count it if you want to. I don't because it connects to the body, but you do get the backpack. You have a little hinge and a ball peg for the cannon or caster, and that's pretty much standard. And then the other accessories we have a spear, which does have a little bit of the stylized paint job on there, so that's pretty cool. And then we do also get this gun, which is, I guess, a marine gun. I don't know. You guys know I'm not like heavy into the lore. Either way, it doesn't matter. It looks cool because they nailed the stylized paint job. It is gorgeous. And then the last accessory we have is the cover piece for my arm detonator thingy, because it broke off in the package. As I was opening it up, it just popped right off. It is broken, and it's a bummer because I really don't like that. And this is usually one of the stronger hinges they have, but it is broken. That sucks. And it's not painted on the inside. That sucks too. So, accessory-wise, only a 5 out of 10. Not good. Not a good showing. Not bad, but not good. It is completely neutral in terms of accessories. Now onto the articulation. The head is on a really big ball peg. This is all the same stuff we've seen a bunch of times before, but you get really good range out of the heads now. I feel like they improved this recently, only in like the last 6 or so releases, something like that. Really good range out of the head. I love it. Being able to move the Predator's heads in a really dynamic way makes them look so much cooler because they have these really dynamic faces. It's just nice. It's very nice. We've seen all this before. It's not a good setup. It looks cool. There's not much they can do about it, but this guy likes to tear. This guy likes to tear. This is connected to the bicep, not the shoulder, but it's still just... You can't really pose this arm because it stuffs in the way or it will break. So as you can see, as we rotate it on the bicep swivel, it stresses this guy right here, which will very easily break. Hey, oh, that's another thing. Sometimes this design just doesn't work well. I wish they would make the pegs bigger because it doesn't want to stay in place. This one right here works okay, but having to latch this one in at the top doesn't really work. They should reverse it so that the top one is actually latched in place like this one. It's a hook. So that the top one is latched in place and then this one just pegs in. That would make more sense than letting gravity just pull it off. You know what I mean? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Flip those tabs around. That should be common sense. Anyway, this one doesn't like staying on. I can't get this one to stay on at all for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, if you bend the elbow, I point this out every time just because I don't want people to ruin their figure. But if you bend the elbow with this tuber behind the elbow, it will tear it right off. You need it to be on top of the elbow so that it goes across when you bend it, okay? So be very careful about that. But let's look at this side for the range. For the shoulder, can we raise it? Sometimes these guys just don't want to work for us. Sometimes they do. Yeah, not very far. So very limited shoulder range. Full rotation, of course. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow is, of course, fine. Both gauntlets rotate. I haven't had any trouble with that lately. Oh, I have it on this one. This guy doesn't want to rotate either. Be very careful with that. There's very little plastic between that hinge and the swivel in there. So if you just crank on that, you'll tear it right off. Be very, very careful. If it's stuck, heat it up, cool it, heat it up, cool it. Do whatever you have to do to make sure you don't rip it, okay? Be very careful. The claws or blades do extend. Then the wrists do have a hinge and a peg, as is standard. Diaphragm joint could be a double. I think it's a single. I don't know. You get a little bit more lean out of this guy than most of them, but it's mostly just going to be a rotation. He doesn't really want to do too much. Waist twist is a waist twist. These guys are soft. The crotch is soft. Ew. And so you get really good hip range. No problem there. Going forward and back. Oh, it's stiffer than normal is what she said, but it does work well enough. Not a whole lot, but it's okay. Are the hips still? Yeah, the hips are still janky. That's not going away anytime soon, I guess. Thigh swivel is okay. Double jointed knee is okay. Ankles are ball pegs, which are only okay. So the articulation on this guy, as is pretty much the case for most of these repaint releases, not particularly good. Not bad, but not good. So only 6 out of 10 for the articulation for this guy. I don't know what it is. I just love the way it looks, though. So my final verdict on this guy, much like the other ones in this batch, it's going to be a little bit heavier weighted for the aesthetic as opposed to the articulation, just because we know what the articulation is that we're going to be getting going into it. We're going to be buying this line for the aesthetic specifically, and they really did an overall fantastic job on the aesthetic. The figure is what it is. I mean, they almost all are the same figure at this point, for this type of figure anyway. We know what we're getting going into it, so I can't be too critical on that kind of stuff. And the aesthetic is really good. Anyway, final verdict on this guy is 7 objective ratings out of 10. Subjectively, I really like the aesthetic, and I might go higher, but the articulation is definitely pulling it back. So we're going to leave it at 7. I think that's fair, and I think it'll do you guys well enough to use this review to inform your buying decision. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video, as in click the thumbs up thing, and click on the subscribe button, and click on the bell, and click on all the things except for the thumbs down, because that'd be no good, but the rest is all very good. So please do all of that stuff, and in the meantime, keep collecting.